Hey, everybody, it is Rocky. I am here with the one, the only, the incomparable Tyler Bryant from Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown. No, I will not stop.
What's up, Rocky? How are you, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's such a pleasure to be talking to you today, kind of face to face. It's very, very cool that we can do this kind of stuff now. But I'm so psyched to see you at the State Fair, number one. Number two, I want to kind of tell you the story of how I found out about you. So there was this guy, we do this thing, this Harley giveaway here at the station, and it's something that lasts all summer. And this guy came up and he was like, Tyler Bryant in the Shakedown.
Oh, nice.
Have you heard of them? And I was like, okay, no, I'm going to look it up. And he showed me On to the Next.
Oh, cool.
And that song blew my mind, brother. It's so good. It's rock and roll. It's raw. It's honest. It's great. And so I've been in adoration mode, I guess, ever since. I think you guys rock. So I want to learn all the things about you and you guys and, you know, what you do. And really, I'd like to start at the beginning. I mean, talk to me about Tyler, you know, some of your inspirations when you were growing up, where the love for music came from, because obviously you can tell that, you know, you have a big passion for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, shout out to that dude for, you know, running down the door of the radio.
I know. He'll see this. I'm sure he will.
I hope he won the Harley. But for me, music started, man. It was like I saw a video of Elvis Presley when I was in first grade, and I was obsessed with it. And I was obsessed with the guitar playing, which I didn't realize he wasn't doing. I saw him holding a guitar. I was obsessed with the performance aspect of it, that he had everybody looking at him. That's like, as a kid, I wanted to be the center of attention, you know, and as I've gotten older, I've kind of pushed away from that a little bit more. But I was obsessed with Elvis, and I think hearing sort of the blues elements in his music sort of opened the door for me to accept blues and roots music and like traditional American music. And I started getting more into rock and roll when I was in high school, of course, as the natural progression of anyone who's interested in music goes. It's like anytime you start getting rebellious, then rock and roll to the surface.
Rock and roll's there to kind of take you where you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Elvis was a big inspiration, and I guess I can kind of see that, you know, in the stuff that you do. So it wasn't really, were there any family members that kind of like did anything for you, or was it just outside?
I had a grandpa that I saw, like, you know, once every year, every couple years, and he always brought down an acoustic guitar, and I was enamored with it. But he wasn't around much, and no one else in my family plays. But my dad always had classic country music going, like George Jones or George Strait or, you know, Hank, that kind of stuff. So I'm really into classic country music. And, you know, it just, one thing led to another. You know, I got into Muddy Waters, and then well, I should mention this. This is actually a huge point for me. I met this guy at a music store. So I got an acoustic guitar based on seeing a video with Elvis, seeing my grandpa have an acoustic. Cool. I was like, I got to get an acoustic guitar. So my mom got me like a $100 pawn shop acoustic. And she said, if you get good on this, then you can get an electric, but you have to get your fingers tough. You know what all parents say to kids if they're cool enough to get them a guitar.
I love that. For me, it was a drum set, and it was like start with band. I played snare drum in school. And they wanted to make sure I was going to go through with it. And then
and so I was like, this acoustic is sort of a buzzkill, you know. I love it. I played it, but it was like, you know, I mean, I was tying it up on a string in the backyard and shooting a BB gun at it. Like, I didn't have a ton of respect for the acoustic guitar. I didn't respect it like I do now.
Right on. Yeah.
I wanted it to be loud and electrified, and so I put an electric guitar on layaway and started saving up my money and making payments on it every month. And I met this guy in this music store in Paris, Texas, named Roosevelt Twitty. And he said, do you like the blues? Because I was just sitting there glued to him playing. And I said, I don't know what that is. And he said, well, I'm playing it. And I said, I love it. And next time I went in there, he was there. next time I went in there, he was there, and it was sort of like this sign that could not be ignored. And I ended up becoming pretty much best friends with him. He'd pick me up from school.
No way.
Yeah, we'd listen to John Lee Hooker cassettes driving to his house, where we'd sit in the living room and just play guitar together. And he kind of created this space for me to feel comfortable messing up. And I didn't feel insecure about not being good. I just was like listening to music with a friend, and we started playing around, and until his health, you know, made it to where he couldn't go out and play anymore. And then I decided I would move to Nashville and start my own band.
Well, from Paris, Texas to Nashville. And let me just say too, that's such like when they make the movie about you, Tyler, and they make that biopic about you, that's going to be a huge moment for you. You know what I mean? Like that right there to me, like the Elvis, the inspiration for that, but like that bond that you made with that guy who was just playing blues in the guitar shop, you know, that is so tangible. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, it's really cool. It's to me, and so much of my life was impacted by that outside of music, you know, and that's why, you know, I always try to keep it in perspective that making music is a lot more than being successful monetarily or how high you get on the charts. It's like, man, this stuff could really change somebody's life for the better. Like I've watched it kill racism, you know, and like bring people together that I never thought would come together. And that's what's so cool when you get together at a show with a bunch of strangers. You're not worried about all the, you know, the stuff that you're normally worried about. You're putting your hand in the air, listening to whatever song you love, you know? And I think that's something that I always try to remember about music and sharing it with people.
Is that in the front of your mind when you're writing? Or is it like first kind of doing what you want to do because it's coming from you? Or are you thinking about kind of other people and how this is going to affect them? Or is it different every time?
I think it's all kind of been baked in together. You know, it's, you know, the integrity that Mr. Twitty kind of instilled in me, which was close your eyes and feel it. You know, it has to come from this place of you meaning it. And then like, sometimes it's like I almost get to tune out whenever I'm writing or playing with the band. And then you kind of come to and you go, oh, what is that? That's cool. What does it mean? And it's like, you know, songs can change over time, or you know, maybe it's defined from the jump. It's just, there's really no rhyme or reason. It's just cool to be part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you can tell, I mean, you know, I feel like you can tell talking to a lot of different artists, and, you know, you meet a whole bunch of different artists doing what you're doing. I feel like you can tell the difference between the people who are in it, like for those genuine kind of reasons, and the people who are in it just to like, for fame, for money, for women, men, whatever it is, you know, that's what they're doing it for. And I feel like that comes off.
Well, man, it's like, you know, when I moved to Nashville, I left school when I was 17, and I told my parents, I was like, I'm not going to ask you for money. I gotta go somewhere where there's music. And I wanted to be a professional songwriter. So I moved to Nashville and I started the Shakedown. And I mean, it was like, I didn't realize at the time how much we were going to have to really grind and grind and grind. And, you know, when people talk about earning your stripes, most people have to do that unless you get really lucky. And we didn't get really lucky. You know, we were just like, we were going through vans, going through trailers, burning through amps, driving 15 hours to play for 30 minutes, you know, and then one day you get a cool opportunity, like going on a world tour with AC/DC, and you go, cool, man, I stayed at this table long enough, and finally somebody served me up a plate.
Yeah.
You know? And I think I'm proud of our trajectory, you know, even for the bits that have been slow, you know?
Yeah. Well, so since you started the Shakedown, you were 17 when you started the Shakedown?
Well, it wasn't called the Shakedown then. It was called the Tyler Bryant Band, which is just dorky.
I know. Dude, the band I was in was called Danger Is Your Middle Name, and we were trying to make it. That's a dorky name.
That's dorky, dude.
I know. If anybody's going to be a dork for the two of us, it's going to be me, not you.
My middle name is actually Dick. No, I'm kidding.
Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've had with Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown, you've had 4 studio albums, right? Yeah. 4 full-length studio albums, and you're currently working on your 5th now.
Yes. Well, the fifth is done. So
it's done.
It's done. Yeah.
Okay. Is it out? Like where is it at in the progress?
It's not out yet. But you like if you follow the Shakedown on any of our socials or anything like that, then release information will be coming very soon.
Okay. That's super exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting for us. We actually started our own record label called Rattle Shake Records. And it just seemed like the next logical step in the process.
Yeah.
We've been signed to
it's Snake Farm, right?
Yeah, we were signed to Snake Farm, and ahead of that we were signed to Republic Records, and then we had an indie deal out of Texas for our very first record, and we've worked with all of these amazing record labels and gotten a bunch of valuable information and made a bunch of great contacts, and we're going, we could hire a bunch of these people ourselves, and because I feel like our fans, they want to. We built such a grassroots following with the Shakedown. They want to support us.
Yeah.
And this is the only way that they can actually be responsible for the music and support us. And it's just that the industry has moved in such a way that it's actually possible to do. And you can go out and secure your own distribution. You can hire your own publicists. And that's what we've been in the process of doing over the last year, is like putting it together.
Dude, that's sweet, because it is. Nobody's going to buy an album or buy singles for the producer anymore. You know what I mean? It's the band, it's the artist, it's that person. I mean, everything that you're saying is striking right, man.
I'm married to an artist, and my wife Rebecca's band is called Larkin Poe, and I've been watching her do it for years, and it's like I'm going, I want that control over the music, and everyone in the Shakedown does. And like it was crazy the other day. I got a text from Steve Ferroni from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Just a little name drop there.
Yeah, all right. If you had a mic, you'd drop it.
Yeah. And he wrote me and said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to film my new radio show for the Tom Petty Sirius XM station. Do you have any new Shakedown music?" And so I was like, let me check with the label to see if we can play the song before it's released.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, the label says, yeah, do it.
Oh, sweet validation. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, one thing we're starting to run out of time, and I could talk to you for hours for sure. I'm so glad that you're coming to the State Fair. It's going to be August 12th. Again, Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown. This is going to be a great show. It's at the Grand Central Stage in the Reich Pavilion, and you just got to be there. If you're not, you're going to be missing something really, really special. One thing that I'm curious about is guitar tones. You have crazy, interesting guitar tones throughout all of your stuff. And I got to imagine a lot of that's coming from you.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah, I have a lot of good gear, luckily, but I do believe that a lot of the guitar playing is like it's in the hands, and
yeah.
It's just like anything, if you're a painter, you got to work on the nuance, and we've put a lot of time and effort into playing. I play all day, every day, because I just love it. And but yeah, on the records, I'm doing a lot of the soloing, but every now and then, Graham Whitford, the other guitarist in the Shakedown, he'll burn a few.
Lay it down.
Yeah, man, it's like he's one of my favorite guitar players in the world, and just we happen to be in a band together, so it's been interesting over the years to develop our dynamic with each other. We play well off of each other.
Do you tour with a lot of guitars, or do you keep it pretty simple?
I go through phases. Sometimes I'll take, on this we just got home from a little run, and I took 5 guitars, but then like I'll take a bunch, and then I'll end up playing one for the.
Yeah, right. You overpack.
Yeah, but I mean, we have a lot of different tunings, and I use some resonators for some of the like Delta blues inspired songs.
Yes.
So that, there's nothing else in the world that sounds like that. So I'll bring a couple of those, and then my, my kind of my main guitar is this beat up pink Stratocaster that's been with me around the world a million times.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see you, man. Before we kind of let you go, do you have any crazy story, any road stories, any favorite stories from, your career as Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown? Anything that jumps out to you as, gosh, I love what I do?
Oh man, well, yeah, there's so many crazy stories with the Shakedown, but I think one of the stories that I still don't even believe is like we were out on the Rocker Bus World Tour with AC/DC,
Yeah.
and I want to say this was like 2016 or 2017, and it's whenever Brian Johnson's hearing was having issue, he was having issues with his hearing,
Right.
and Axl Rose stepped in to fill the slot. We all thought the tour was going away. And
Yeah.
Axl Rose stepped in, and it really helped us out because we were like, great, we can continue to pay our rent.
All right. This is a celebration.
But so like we kept seeing Axl. He'd drive by in a golf cart. He'd like give us a peace sign or like rock fist or something, and we were kind of like, is he doing that to us? Like,
Yeah.
and his someone from his team came up to us and they said, he's not going to come say hey to you. If you want to talk to him, you got to go.
No way. No way.
Green room, and we're like, we're not just gonna knock on the door to Axl. But like, we ended up playing the Olympic Stadium in London with them, and his green room door was open, so we were like, let's go. And we went in, and he said, he's like, how would you guys like to come play some shows with my band?
Oh my God.
And we were all kind of looking at each other like, is he talking about guns? So then we got to go do like 30 shows with them, and it was crazy.
Oh man. I mean, that's the kind of stuff dreams are made out of, dude. I mean, that's so cool.
It's so far out, but like, I think everyone assumes that style of touring is like so, glamorous and luxurious. On our first show with AC/DC, our van broke down under the arena in the tunnel, so their motorcade had to stop behind our busted down. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
They bumped our pay up after that too. They were like, you guys get a bus.
It's because, dude, you're a good dude. It's because, there are enough people in this industry and business that have crazy egos and that are not fun to talk to. You are really great to talk to.
Oh man. Well,
and, yeah, I'm so glad we had this time together. I can't wait to see you again. Everybody, you got to get to the Grand Central stage in the Reich Pavilion. It's Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown, August 12th. It's my birthday month. That's going to be great. 7 p.m. Tyler Bryant, thank you so much for being with us, man. It was an extreme pleasure.
And I'll just say that August 12th is a big day for the Shakedown as well. So.
Oh my God. I love it, dude. I'm very excited. We'll talk to you very soon. All right.